Okay, we're going to try for, I don't know, third, fourth time maybe to record this budget video that I've tried. So basically challenging myself to show you guys some budget ideas. The way I'm going to do that is limit wildcards, particularly rare and mythic rare wildcards. We'll even limit some uncommons. So I tried a couple different ones already, and if this goes well, then later I'll even like try to build one on here. But these I've already built, but I think it might be fun to try to build something on here soon too. So this one is a white, kind of a white weenie. I've got to be honest, I've played it already and playing it in historic. There's got to be better builds. I just don't know if there's better budget builds. Well, I know there's better builds. Are there better budget builds? As a tongue twister for you. And are they any of them going to be competitive in historic right now? I don't know. This one does not feel all that competitive, but I'm going to show it to you anyway because you might find it to be fun. Because honestly, sometimes you can have fun even if it's not the most competitive deck. Not to mention, you could tweak it. You don't have to do exactly what I did here. This is really just to give you some ideas of how to create a functioning budget deck. So, okay, so what I did is I limited my mythic wildcards to 2, and I spent those on Heliod Sun Crowned, because this is a life gain based budget. So we did that, and then for the rare slot, I spent for Speaker of the Heavens. This is a card, ever since I saw it, I really wanted to play it. Not sure how well it's going to go. You've got to get 7 life, more than your starting life total, to activate its ability. But hopefully this deck will do that fast enough that this ability can be triggered early. And I think it'll be a lot of fun if we can. Okay, I also limited uncommons this time to 10, so I don't know if that's a big issue or not. I find that I run out of uncommons just as much as I do the rares and mythics, so I thought it wasn't a bad idea to limit those as well. I mean, I've got plenty of common wild cards. But anyway, I'm showing you this one because this has been one of my favorite cards to play lately, just in general. Basically, you can exile your own creature on turn 2, give yourself a 4/4 white flying angel. I honestly can't think of too many times I'd want to use this on an opponent. Like, they'd have to have a crazy creature on the other side of the board for me to want to give them a 4/4 flying angel. But giving myself one on turn 2 is a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and play it and just see what it looks like. Again, maybe you want to tweak something like this, but the point here is that it's playable on a budget. And then I've got another one I'll show you real quick too after we play this one that is much more competitive. But I won't get too far into that one yet. Let's see how this one does. All right, come on. I've been playing on here already. I know the internet's should be fine. Computer should be fine. And of course it's going to wait till we're recording to give us trouble. Okay, here we go. Oh, Gambon the Gimp. I don't know. All right, let's see. Okay, great. Okay, it's something I didn't talk a lot about, but with going with the kind of white weenie archetype here, it is extremely easy to be on curve because we went super low mana cost here. I think the highest cost in the whole deck is like 3, so that will not be a problem. And in fact, to make this deck work even better, it might not even be a bad idea to go with less land. Like, we've created such a low curve. So I'm actually gonna wait, and I'm gonna give us that 4/4 angel here. Okay, being on the draw and him getting out in front, I'm not crazy about how this is looking so far. Hopefully he can't take this creature out too fast and we can get some hits in. That would be nice. The downside is we did just give up our lifelink creature, so that may or may not have been a great idea. But we're going at him. And again, this is an aggro deck, so if we don't... one thing I noticed playing it already is if we don't succeed with the aggressive play, then late game, like if a board wipe just devastates this deck. And what's really bad is it doesn't even take a particularly good board wipe because there's so many small creatures. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes how well. Okay, and which reminded me, so one of the white weenie decks that was really good in standard maybe a year or so ago used Venerated Loxodon, which had Convoke and also gave your each creature that you used to Convoke to pay for its cost, gave it a 1/1 counter, and so it used things like that to beef those small creatures, and that made a big difference. We don't have much of that going on here, so that's why those really cheap board wipes that deal 1 damage or something to that effect just wipe this thing out. Now it looks like, unless he's sitting on something like that, which this is a shrine deck, which I think they're cool. So everybody's building one, and I don't have enough wild cards right now to build one, which honestly just makes me a little jealous because I do like the concept. It's kind of janky, like a Gates deck or something. So even though I see a lot of them, and I usually don't like decks that I see a lot of, I'm not bothered too much because it is, it's kind of cool. Okay. Let's see, if you control 7 or more lands, transfer. Okay, I don't know what all that's doing. We just gotta hope we can get in here now. 4, 5, 6. I mean, depending on what he's sitting on in his hand, can he... I don't think he can cast a Settle the Wreckage. I'm not sure what he might be sitting on. I'm sure he's sitting on something, but we gotta go for it. I mean, it's what this deck does. Oh, he's untapping my creatures. Got it. Okay. I've seen that card before. Not a lot, but... And we might have been a little foolish attacking with... Oh, that might have been foolish. I attacked with the creature that I needed to create more flyers. That was bad. Okay. So, he's... Wow. Okay. So he's got 2 of those untapped. This is nuts. Okay, this will help. Let's get rid of that. I don't think we need to gain the life from that. Let's attack. So we know he's going to pull those 2 out of combat. So we're hoping to just kind of ping him to death, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that because he's going to start dropping lands and creating zombies. This is the other thing, and I said this earlier, late game, this deck, I mean, you've got to hit it right, and we had a misplay already by giving up our angel generator. So that misplay, I think, is going to be what really cost us here. Yeah, this deck just is not forgiving. It's not very forgiving at all. A misplay like that, board wipes things, just eat it alive. Yeah, see, anything I put into combat right now, he's going to take out. That's a really good card. Like, now I'm kind of jealous I don't have those. But I don't have the wild cards for him, for sure. So now I'm going to have to hope I draw something. That's the other thing. I don't think I put much card draw in this deck. Of course, white doesn't have a lot of card draw. Some of the best card draw white has would cost us some wild cards, so that kind of hurt the budget. The other thing is, I think this would be a better concept in standard right now. I don't play standard really. Um, I mean, I used to, but once they made historic ranked available all the time, yeah, I think I'm gonna bail, guys. This is getting a little crazy. We showed you the deck. It didn't function great. I mean, I knew that. Um, but it's a good shell. So, like, you can totally change this up, see what you think, or just don't misplay like I did. I mean, we'd have probably had a really good chance here if I hadn't done that. Um, but to be honest, like, if you're not prepared for these shrine decks, they're pretty good. So, I mean, it's not like we're playing down in bronze or silver. I mean, platinum's not a bad rank to be playing in. So, um, I don't know. Probably not a lot of people are play testing their new budget decks in, you know, historic ranked platinum, whatever. So, I promise the next one will function a little bit better. All right, we're just gonna watch this guy create a bunch of zombies, or we're gonna bail. We're gonna bail. Good game. I don't do emotes, so he can't hear me. So, oh well. All right. So we showed you what I think is still a decent shell for a deck. Obviously, it didn't perform great. No real surprises to me there. But it can definitely be done on a budget. Like I said, we're kind of missing maybe some things that would have made that particular style of deck better anyway. I think maybe spending our wild cards on something like Venerated Loxodon would have been better. But I really wanted to try some of those pieces out, and that's the other thing about building a deck, whether it's budget or otherwise, is sometimes you just got to play what is fun. So, and then not attack and let it get killed. All right, come on. I don't know why the internet's doing this, or computer. I'm sure it's a little bit of both, but now I just gotta hope it doesn't ruin my video for like the 5th time. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll go ahead and try to get through it. I want to show you one more budget deck. This one I know for a fact is competitive. I've won some games already with it, and frankly, it is a very common archetype. The kicker here is I started to build this as a budget deck like the one I just showed you, with like 2 mythic, 4 rare, kind of trying to keep that same theme going. And before I knew it, I flipped the script and started from the opposite end of the spectrum, and started with my commons and ended up with basically a pauper deck because I decided to stick with commons. So just from the concept of budget build, this is a straight up red deck wins, burn, whatever you want to call it, mono red. It is all commons. I tried to put a lot of hit you in the face cards. So one thing I don't like in a deck like this, especially with a metagame like it is, I didn't want anything that was going to be direct damage that had to be dealt to a creature, because I need to be able to send my direct damage either to a creature or straight to my opponent's face. So I wanted things that said any target. That was a big deal to me. Especially because we're also not sideboarding with these decks. I'm playing best of 1. That's really all I ever play. I used to do sideboards and play best of 3. And it's cool, it's great, but it's not my thing. So I'm really not doing that. So anyway, this one is competitive. We're going to play this one. And the only thing is, to be honest, I used to play a lot of mono red deck wins, and it just feels so cheap. And when I say cheap, I'm not talking about cost, like cheap as in maybe lazy, or I don't know. And that's fine. Like, I don't want to be one of those people who bashes on it necessarily, but I do want to get away from things that are just easy, normal, or or seen a lot. I like to try odd things more often. So I feel like this was a really great proof of concept, though, as far as just showing off what a budget deck can do. And then I want to build on that. So I'm going to try to get into more 2 to 3 color decks from here on, and just see what else we can do. But this is going to be fun. I mean, it just is. It'll be interesting to see what we get matched up with here. Again, because I don't play a lot of this style of deck anymore, so I don't know what to really expect from the matchup. And it looks like, I mean, is that a plains? Okay, so maybe some life gain, which would make sense. Ooh, so now here's an opportunity to... Oh, but I'm going to wait, because if there could be a creature I need to take out. So we had an opportunity to throw some damage, but I do like to be a little cautious in case, you know, big creatures come out. And I say big, I mean, it was 3 damage, but getting them off the field early can be very helpful. So, okay, I don't know if he's really thinking that hard or what's going on here. He might be like me. I'll be honest, sometimes if I see a counterspell, I just am done. And I really have to decide if I even want to keep playing. He might see this mono red and is like, is this even worth continuing to play? I mean, sometimes you just know your deck can't run with a certain, you know, certain type of deck, or you just don't care to play against it. And I know for competitive people, that sounds silly maybe. The whole, you know, never give up in case you win. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. When you're just playing for fun, sometimes you just get out. Okay, so that's, again, why we saved and didn't just go straight for the face last time. Because when we can take creatures out, we'd want to do that. Now, the later the game gets, the more I'm going to maybe lean the other way. Okay, let's go ahead and make him make a decision. And see, that's an interesting decision, because I'd have gone here. Now, I mean, yeah, he took the one with the higher power, but it immediately killed his angel, so that's interesting. Oh, I'm going to hold off again. I feel like he's going to drop, yeah, ooh. Well, that's not that big a deal at the moment. So, now that's going to be something to keep our eye on later. At the moment, I'm not too worried about that. Okay, we're still going to wait. I feel like we're better off waiting to see if we can use that as a finisher right now. Or possibly it may be worth going ahead and using here. I don't know. Let's see how he treats this attack. Okay, so I think let's go ahead and get rid of her. Now, did we misplay there? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to push on ahead. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're down to 4. Let's go here. Okay, this is a little crazy, but all we need, yeah, see something like that. Boom. This is what we want to see. Call it a cheap win if you want. But that is exactly what this deck does, and this deck can do that consistently. Yeah, that's where building on a budget is fun. Lots and lots of fun. So again, I mean, that feels a little easy to build a mono red that way. We'll step it up a little bit, but hey, it was fun. Okay, I'm going to get out of here and really hope that this recording works. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it works, and we'll catch you later.